The car is officially back from paint. She's looking incredible, guys. Classics Collision Center did a killer job. You can see this is the spoiler, which was basically white before. Now it just looks insane. We got the rear bumper done up as well. Looks super, super good. The paint match is just unreal. So he did a really nice job. Now where this car is gonna shine is definitely in the front, where all the damage was done. Dang, guys. He did have to spray the hood again, so that was done because he had to pull this dent out. And then we still have to put the grill in, but because there's no rod for the lever down here, he didn't want to put it in, so because otherwise we wouldn't be able to open it, right? So, and the bumper looks awesome. I actually did buy some new pieces to actually put in, but he did a killer job. So I'll show you guys this a little bit more later when we get to the house. Super stoked on it. Right now we're going to bring the car over to Shane's house and then switch out the gas cap for one that I have on the black car, and then I have to drive it so that hopefully the check engine light goes out, because the code is for the gas tank. It's not getting like proper pressure or something, which could be the reason why it doesn't like start up very well. It's like it just constantly turns over because it doesn't have like the tank pressure it needs. So we're gonna switch the gas cap, drive it quite a bit, and then hopefully get this thing smogged and registered today. So a lot of wins for the laser today, but seeing it from paint is just already like insane. So very excited to get this thing dialed, and then I have to figure out a solution to get that rod. I might take it from the black car for now so that we can actually get the grill on this thing, and then we'll be good. Currently trying to get my dice unit to work. I was having trouble with the USB, so we're trying to find another USB to plug into the computer because it wasn't recognizing like the USB comm right there. So even though the computer was like, it made a sound when you plugged in the USB, it wouldn't show up with the device or with the dice, and it wouldn't show up in the software, but the software is also updating right now. So updating the software, trying a different USB cable, and then hopefully we can clear some codes on the dash and actually find out what's going on, because Shane's code reader that I was using, it only showed that I had a faulty ABS wheel sensor when I have check engine light, traction, ABS, the brake light, which basically is like don't drive it, and then it had the SRS light and the trunk light on. So I have a lot of different lights that I need to sort out, and it's just not giving me the information I need. But I'm also trying to, use this dice unit. So if anyone's had this problem before, please let me know. I'm trying to get this thing sorted. Maybe I just have a bad dice unit and I'll just buy another one because they're cheap on eBay. So we'll see, but trying this first. We'll see how it goes. I feel like there's supposed to be a T there. Like a transfer case that goes back. there's no transfer. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we got the laser on the lift because we were actually looking into what the vacuum solution would be for the fuel system. So we turned to this solenoid and we tested it, so we know it works, but we think that some of the vacuum lines are probably shot inside the engine bay. So we're gonna put the car down and then we're gonna switch them out. But we kind of wanted to see what this car looked like underneath, because there's also a, people talk about the vacuum lines that come off of the fuel tank and that they rot out, and so it can cause issues with not getting the proper vacuum. So we checked those, they all look good, and then I switched the gas cap to a known good gas cap, so we eliminate that issue. So I think it's literally just the vacuum lines that run off of that T. So once we get that sorted, we'll be good to go as far as the check engine light. Then we can get this thing registered. But first time looking at it on the lift, honestly, the car is pretty clean. Actually, the car is very clean. Not too much like oil and stuff, but we can see that some of like the bushings are definitely going. So I think I would like to replace the lower control arms, the tie rod ends, and then maybe get some new suspension on here at some point. But for now, it's fine. It's all OEM stuff, so at least it's okay. And then obviously, like we talked about when we first got the car, that the drive shaft is not in it. So I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be like a transfer case here that allows it to adapt to the drive shaft, which runs all the way back, but it's missing. I don't really know, so if you guys have any information, that would be helpful. So it's definitely only front wheel drive. Other than that, everything else looks pretty good, and very happy with the car. First time seeing it underneath, so pretty cool. First time seeing the rear wheel drive, or the rear suspension, the rear axles and stuff. So pretty cool. From this point on, it's just fixing those vacuum lines for the fuel, I guess, like pressure, and then hopefully that check engine light goes off. So we just found the issue. The hose, that hose right there, is completely split in half. I mean, it's like a foot-long hose that's not doing anything, and it actually ties into the T right here, which is for the fuel pressure circulation. Once we fix that, hopefully that fixes the check engine light. Honestly, we've seen the hoses look like that on the red car, the black car. So for anyone who owns one of these, check your hoses, bro, your vacuum lines, because they get cooked on these cars, I guess. So we just replaced all of these vacuum lines, which are for the fuel vacuum, supposedly. So it basically routes from your intake here down underneath the manifold, and then tees into the solenoid, and then tees to the intake manifold. But to make things simpler, and hopefully this works, we just ran it off the intake manifold, because that'll have constant vacuum versus the back pressure of the turbo. And so we just did one line with a filter, and then we ran it to the solenoid and then down to the hard line. And then we capped off the intake. So hopefully that works, and that solves our check engine light issue, but also makes the engine run a little bit smoother. So you can see these lines were absolutely shot, just like split. So, the definitely had some vacuum leaks that caused some boost leaks and caused the check engine light. And I think that Because these have to do with the fuel pressure, that it's the reason why, like, when I would turn over the engine, it would just like keep turning over, like, instead of actually run, because it wasn't getting the proper pressure, because the system was leaking super bad, as you can see. So hopefully that fixed it and simplified it enough that shouldn't cause any more issues. It like that. Yeah, I know. It started up quick. Check engine light's still on though, but maybe it's got to read.
It needs to be able to read it. It definitely needs to be driven a little bit.
Yeah. That is way better than it was. Dude, it used to just turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Hopefully we can get it off though. I think we can. This is as far as we're gonna get tonight. The paint looks amazing. That's all I can really say. Hopefully we figure it out. Yeah, we'll get the grill in eventually. Just have to get the rod to finish it out right here. But no, they did good. I think I gotta pull this out more. Like when it sits lower to the bumper, you can see it still needs to get pulled out just a hair.
Okay.
So we'll get there though. That's why I think there's that kink in it still.
Yeah.
I think they had to grind this down and do spot welds and pull it out, because he was saying that you can't access it because it's a double layer.
Yes.
So, but it looks good, bro. I'm very happy. All right, the Volvo is getting hopefully smogged today. I brought it over after I switched the stock intake back over and fixed the vacuum lines. I drove it quite a bit and the light actually went out. So then I took it over. They told me it passed everything except for the catalytic converter was not signaling that it passed the test, even though the light did go off. So he told me that I basically need to drive the car on a highway for 10 to 15 minutes going 55 miles an hour. I did as close to that as I could on a flat area, so it was smooth driving, because he told me that smooth driving was going to help the computer to recognize that it's ready to pass smog, and it passed the basic operating procedures that it needs through the computer. So that was last night. They are about to close in half an hour, so we got to get over there, get this thing to the shop, get it smogged, and hopefully pass, because today's Tuesday. We go to the IPD warehouse on Thursday, so we have less than 48 hours. I also have a wheel sensor I gotta replace, but no check engine light, boys. Oh, and my light switch broke, so gotta fix that, because if we're driving all the way to Oregon, we're gonna need some lights. So I gotta figure this situation out, but we'll get there when we get there, one thing at a time. Laser. Let's get it. Even with the check engine light out, we still weren't able to pass smog. So looks like we're not going to be able to take the laser to the IPD show like we were trying to make initially. And we also did notice a small oil leak coming from the oil cap, which we did get fixed later on, but we'll still be at the IPD show.